everyone, it's Emily here, and it is day 2 of Vlog Everyday April, or Vlog a lot more than usual April for me, depending on what I like to do. But I'm on day 2, so that's exciting, and I'm pre-filming this, because you can probably tell that with the last few videos, I've been wearing the same shirt, and I was too lazy to change shirts to make it pretend that I didn't film this all in one day, so, oh well. But I'm going to have a video up, and that's what matters. But anyway, today I want to talk to you about Camp NaNoWriMo because that's happening this month. It is through the regular NaNoWriMo site, but they do camp in April and in July where you can kind of just make your own writing goals and you can have cabins. And it's really, really fun. And since I basically totally failed NaNoWriMo in November, I decided I'm going to give it a go again this time around with camp in April. I made my word count goal super low. I made it 25,000 words. The usual is 50,000 words. So I made it half of that. So that way it's a little bit lower pressure. And I have this new story idea that I'm super excited about. But because it's Camp NaNoWriMo and Veda, I thought I would do at least weekly updates with my writing. So first up, we have my project that I was working on before. If you were watching my previous writing updates, you know that I was in the midst of editing and revising, and I am happy to tell you that all that is pretty much done. My novel, it is an urban fantasy, and it was originally at like 150,000 words, and I now have it down to 96,000 words. Like, it was intense, and it was crazy, but I'm really, really proud of myself. I think it's definitely a lot stronger and more polished, and I'm really proud of myself for that. And there is definitely still a lot more work and polishing I can do, but I do feel like at the moment it is good at a place where I've actually started querying. I started querying a couple weeks ago because I was kind of like in a phase of like, I'm not really sure what to do next, and I was really, really scared to start querying literary agents. But then I saw on Twitter one of the agents that I have on my huge spreadsheet of agents that I want to query said that she was closing her inbox to queries for a little while starting March 17th. And I was like, oh crap, I need to get on this. And so that kind of just was like the motivation I needed to just get it done. And so I've been working with some friends on getting my query letters all set to go and polishing them and getting them ready. And so I've sent out about like 15. I haven't really had a whole lot of responses yet. The ones that I have had have been no's, which I've totally been expecting because that's part of the process. Like, most authors have so many rejections they could wallpaper their house with. And so I've totally been prepared for this, and I haven't really been taking it that badly. I'm just kind of like, okay, that's fine, it's not right for you. And I've had a couple of positive rejections. I did have one agent say that, like, she felt that the story was a little too familiar for her, which has been a legitimate worry of mine, but she also seemed to be interested in future projects of mine. And I do think a couple of my future projects that I have in my head that I'll be working on for Camp NaNoWriMo would be ones that would appeal to her. And so it was nice just to know that, like, okay, like, it just might not be the particular novel she's interested in, but she seems like she might like my writing style. And so that was really, really exciting. And so then my Camp NaNoWriMo project is going to be a fairy tale retelling. So years and years ago, I did a retelling of Snow White. And as I look back on it, it really wasn't that good. It was very apparent that it was like my high school kind of book. And not that there's anything wrong. There's like some amazing, amazing writers who are in high school and college age, and they're fantastic. But you could totally tell, like, yeah, she's like 17, and yeah. But Snow White is my favorite fairy tale of all time, and so I was still kind of like sad that, like, oh, my attempt at making a story about her didn't really go well. But then I just had this inspiration of combining the stories of Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs and the fairy tale of Snow White and Rose Red, which is about two sisters, and putting them into one, and all of a sudden I could just see how I could revive my old ideas, but make them even better and make it a story about sisters, which I've always wanted to do a story about sisters because I have an older sister and she and I are really close, and I'm like, I should write a story about sisters because I know what that kind of relationship is like. And so I'm really, really excited to do that. But then I also decided to make the Rose Red character have a disability. And I'm really excited and also nervous about that because I have attempted to write stories about a character who had a disability. So I could like put my own experiences in there and write a story about disability the way I want it to be written. But it was really, really awful. And so it was just really bad. And so I've really been scared to attempt it again. But I think this could be a really great way to do it. So yeah, that's where I am with my writing. I'm going to have at least one video up a week where I'm updating you. It'll be mainly focused on Camp NaNoWriMo. But if I have any other progress in other areas of my writing, I might be including those in my videos this month as well. So there we go. If you're doing Camp NaNoWriMo, let me know what are your goals, what's your story about. I'd love to hear about it. And if you have other writing things that you want to talk about, let me know. Maybe I'll do a Q&A someday. Who knows? But yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you all later.